It's not even, but never is.
Meet at the library. Okay.
Hi everyone, it's Julia and welcome to my channel, Shakespeare and Such. You might be thinking, Julia, it looks like you're standing in front of a shower curtain right now. It's because I am. We're in my bathroom. I knew I had to film today because I've been sick. You can kind of still hear it a little bit in my voice, and it's been a while, and since I inherently have to get ready to film a video, I thought, why not film a video as I get ready, kill two birds with one stone, and do the makeup book tag. So because I have a boatload of makeup, I decided it would just be easier to bring you guys into my bathroom, and the lighting is better in here anyways, and I'll do the tag. So, you know, right now you're seeing my regular human face, and now we're going to paint it with various pigments. That's how I typically talk about makeup, in a very normal, natural sounding way. No, but I really do love makeup. I have a lot of stuff in here to play with, and I don't know who started this tag. I will find it and leave a link in the description box below. But it's been kind of like having a comeback lately. A lot of people are doing it. Chelsea Darling Reeds just did this recently. Allie from Hardback Hoarder, I just watched hers. So I thought this would be a fun one to do. Let's go. Alright, so what I've already done is moisturize my face. That's it. And the first question I have on my phone, because I'm not gonna have all these memorized, is primer. Pick a book that left a lasting impression. Okay, so I don't want to waste a lot of my primer because I'm not going to be wearing this all day, but I am in love with two primers, and the one that I'm using right now is Pores No More by Dr. Brandt. This stuff is really good. Pore Refiner Primer, and it's like super good at making your makeup last, and like it says, disguising your pores, which are definitely a thing on my nose. I don't know if anyone else has that issue. And it like smells nice, like kind of spicy, which doesn't sound like something you'd want on your face, but trust me, it's nice. So I've spent the whole time talking about makeup and not about the book. I would have to say the book that has left a lasting impression on me is The Giver by Lois Lowry. This is a book that I feel like I talk about all the time because I love it so much, but I feel like I talk about it more in real life than I do online. I think The Giver, I say this to everyone, I think it's a book that everyone should read because I think it really, like, I don't know, something about it changed me when I read it, and I think it would have that effect on a lot of people. I read it first in 5th grade, but I read it at least 3 or 4 times since then in my life, and I've gotten my dad to read it as an adult, and like, it's just so good. It's such a beautifully done, like, dystopian world, and it's just some of the best children's lit. So good. Also, the sequel, Gathering Blue, is amazing. There are 2 other, you know what, The Giver. Just read The Giver. The next question is foundation. Pick your favorite first book in a series. Ooh, this is spicy. Okay. My foundation right now is Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse in Airbrush Finish. That's not the color, that's part of the name. Mine's the lightest one. We're just going to get my dirty beauty blender and pump some of that on there. Oh, if it's open, we'll pump some of that on there. My favorite first book in a series. Oh, I don't know. This is hard. I did not plan any of these answers ahead of time because I'm irresponsible. I don't know. I think my favorite first book in a series might be, you know what? I'm going to go with The Cage by Megan Shepherd because that book, I just finished the trilogy and I'm still freaking obsessed with that first book because I love the way it laid the foundations for the world and it gave us time to explore the characters and get to know them. And also, I'm just like in love with the characters in that series so much. Like, it's about this group of teens who have been abducted by aliens, but they haven't fully realized that in the beginning, and then they have to figure out why and what they're gonna do about the situation. And it's so fun and so diverse. Like, these teens are from all over. Cora is the boring white American girl. She's not boring because she's white and American. She's boring because she's boring, but she's also white and American. And then we have like Lucky, who's also from America, but he's Colombian and he's like a sweetheart. And Nok is, well, I think she's from Thailand. I think it was Thailand. I hope I got that right. But then she like moved to London. And then we have Rolf, who is maybe Norwegian or Swedish or something of that nature. And Leon, who's like of a Maori descent, I think, in New Zealand. God, my memory sucks. But I know Lucky was 100% Colombian for sure. That one I remember. But I don't know, these characters are just so fun. I spent more time talking about the characters than the book. But for me, the book series was like, first book, yes. Second book, all right. Third book, yeah. So, first book, The Cage, for sure. Number 3 is concealer. Pick a character you wish you could get rid of. Well, for my concealer, I have Maybelline Age Rewind, because I'm old apparently. And I also have my fancy NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, which is so good if you've got like pimples. Can't recommend it enough. A character I wish I could get rid of is Severus Snape, because he never did anyone any good in his pathetic, awful, garbage can life. Was that too short of an answer? Because I can keep going. That's how I feel about Severus Snape. I have always been in the camp that Snape was a bad guy, even, like, while the series was still going, and everyone was like, is he good or is he bad? And I'm like, I'm sorry, have we been reading the same books? He's bad. He's a bad person. He's a bad teacher. He's a bad friend. He's a bad employee. He's a bad everything. He, called his best friend slurs, basically. He saw a dead couple and stepped over the man, ignored the wailing, bawling baby in the crib, and cradled Lily's corpse in his arms instead of doing anything productive about that situation that he did nothing to prevent anyways. And he's just an abusive teacher who abuses his power and mistreats his students and is the worst. And I think Harry Potter as a series would not be ruined in the slightest without him. I'll go ahead and say it. I think Harry Potter would be a better series without Severus Snape, even without him as a red herring. Okay, good talk. Number 4 is powder. Pick your favorite last book in a series. Ooh, this is hard. Oh, hold on. I have this Almay Smart Shade powder that I dropped the lid of. This is hard because there are a lot of, I have to reach and get my brush, a lot of series that I love that like haven't been finished yet. And also just like not a big fan of series in general. Like I would much rather always prefer to read a standalone than a series. Just because I think with a series, there's so much room for authors to mess things up and like not plan their way through the series before starting the whole thing. So, I don't know. I kind of want to, gosh, what are series that I've even finished? Harry Potter, but I mean, Deathly Hallows isn't like my favorite thing ever. Would I be cheating if I go peek at my bookcase? No, you know what? I know what my favorite last book in a series is. I don't know the title. It is the last book in the Mediator series by Meg Cabot. The Mediator is such a fun series, and if you are someone who likes urban fantasy, you will love the series, because I don't like urban fantasy and I love this series. So if that's up your alley, you should love it even more than I do, right? But it's about this girl, Suze Simon, and Suze can see ghosts. And so she is basically the mediator who helps them like solve their problems so they can pass on into whatever comes after death and being a ghost. And it is so delightful and fun. And the bulk of the series, the main 6 books, are actually about Suze as a teenager in high school, and they're like YA books. But the last book in the series, the same way she did it with Princess Diaries series, is where she finished the series a few years later with the main character as an adult, and it's so cute and so fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed that book. And it was like, it had been so long since I read the rest of the series, and I still was like, oh my gosh, I remember how much I love these characters, and this is so much fun. And yes, I can't think of the title, but the last book in the Mediator series by Meg Cabot. Oh my goodness. Alright, next is eyebrows. Pick a book that you think everyone should read. Oh, kind of already said this a little bit with The Giver, but I'll say more. I have lots of books I think everyone should read because I'm nosy. Before I do, my brow products are this Revlon Color Stay Brow Crayon, which is actually kind of garbage, but I just use it in the fronts of my brows where I don't want them to be too dark and dramatic. And then I have this Anastasia. Oh my god, it's so old, you cannot even. It's seen better days, but it's just the brow powder. Ooh, a book that I think everyone should read. I think that everyone should read The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis, because that book made me so emotional. Those are not even. It's okay, your eyebrows should be sisters, not twins. Something I also learned from a Meg Cabot book. I think everyone should read The Female of the Species because that book made me so emotional, and it just felt really important as I was reading it. Like, I could tell that the themes in that book were just so now and so relevant to discussions that are happening, you know, with teenagers and in schools in real life. And the ending was so emotional, and the characters were surprisingly really lovable. And you're not sure at first how you're gonna feel about them, because you have this girl who has very violent tendencies and this boy who's like the popular golden boy, and PK, the preacher's kid, who is just like, you think she's gonna be a goody two-shoes and maybe kind of annoying, but no, they're all so they really grow on you. And oh, I love it. Oh, and I also have this Anastasia brow gel that I put on top. Yeah. Oh man, definitely read The Female of the Species if you haven't already. I feel like this is how I'm going to feel also when I finally read The Hate U Give. I know I still haven't read it, but I swear to God I'm going to read it this year. I don't know why I'm whispering. Next is Eyeshadow. Pick a book that has your favorite colors on the cover. Okay, I have this Bare Minerals thingy that I like to use on my lids as primer. My favorite color is like minty robin's egg blue, like a really pastel blue-green kind of color. So the first book that always comes to mind when I think of my favorite colors on a cover is The Nest, because that shade is so perfect and beautiful and gorgeous, and I wish I loved that book so I could keep it, but I don't. And I'm also going to get my Natural Love Too Faced palette out because it's honkin' big and it's got so many good colors. Ooh, look at that. And it also has the gold metallic shades, which are just beautiful. And I mean, frankly, those are my favorite colors, is that light blue-green and basically the opposite of what I'm putting on my eyes. And like any metallic gold, rose gold, even silver I like bronze a lot. So the Nest really does it. I need to blend that. One more little sparkle in the center of my lid. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Number 7 is eyeliner. Pick a dark and mysterious book. Okay, I like this one. This is a julep eyeliner that's like this dark chocolatey brown color. It's called When Pencil Met Gel in, ooh, bronze shimmer. Nice. I'm gonna get this mirror, otherwise I'm not going to be able to do my eyeliner. A dark and what was it, mysterious book. Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones. I mean, of course, like Jane Steele immediately comes to mind because Lindsay Faye like wrote that geniusly. Or also The Gilded Cage by Lucinda somebody. That was like a standalone, and it was a YA historical fiction with like paranormally mystery elements. It was so good. Like, I read that book, I think, just in one weekend because it was so fun. Or, oh my gosh, I love like mysterious books. I also really enjoyed The Last Mrs. Parrish. That was like a really good domestic thriller that I just read at the end of last year, about a husband and wife and then her new friend who is 100% trying to steal her husband. Oh my gosh, what else do I love? Also, yes, I do put on my eyeliner ambidextrously, by the way. That's one of the benefits of being left-handed. I feel like I had another, or anything written by Simone St. James, 100% fulfills this, because she writes amazing historical fiction that's always like creepy ghost stories, but are there really ghosts? And if there are, what are we gonna do? And her books are great. I really liked Lost Among the Living, but Silence for the Dead was really good too. I just got her new one, and I'm probably gonna love that. Simone St. James is a great author, broad answer for this category. Next is Mascara. Pick a long book. That's house typed, long. My mascara that I'm using right now, I use two because I'm a weirdo. I have this Maybelline Lash Sensational Curvitude. I use a lot of Maybelline makeup, I'm learning in this video. And I also have this Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara that I like to put on top of it. The first, look at this weirdo brush it has, sorry. The first long book that comes to mind is War and Peace because I'm determined to read it this year, but I'm also so terrified of it. Like, I haven't read it before, and it's gonna be such a journey. It's like a very arduous task I have ahead. But a long book that I've read, I'll say The Host by Stephanie Meyer. That's kind of a chunker. I really love The Host. It's been a few years since I read it, but I know I've reread it once, I don't think twice. I read it once in high school and once in college, and like I still cried. I just think it's such a good story, and I love the characters so much, especially Ian. He's a darling, and yeah, I love that book, and it's quite a long book. I think I don't know if it's 500 pages. But I think it's close if it's not. Should I look it up? I'm kind of compelled to look it up. Let's find out. The Host is 620 pages long. I was right. Okay. Next up is blush. Pick a book that had some cringeworthy romance. Oh man, let me get my blush out and then we'll talk. There's so many blushes I like right now. I have this little Tarte Amazonian clay blush in Party is the name. Excuse me, I think it's just Party. There's no extra A. I mean, there are extra A's, but they're in the beginning. This is actually like a sample. It's just a nice sample. Let's question cringeworthy romance. I'm going to say the book that I just finished, which is Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. The basic synopsis for this book, just the setup, the premise, that's the word I'm looking for. The premise is that our main character Louise meets a man in a bar and they like almost hook up, but they don't, and then she finds out that he's actually her new boss, and then she also finds out that he's married, and it's a lot, but then like eventually their affair continues, otherwise, come on, we're not gonna have a book. And it is just awkward because like neither of them are great people. I mean, Louise is like all right, but David is kind of a bummer of a person. And then later, that's a lot of blush, wow. And then like at the very, very end, just the romance gets even more cringeworthy. And it's even worse because like towards the end when problems are being resolved, there's like this romantic moment. I'm like, this is not the time to be romantic. Like, oh my God, we're talking about police and like turning people in for certain crimes and like doing all this stuff. And they're just like, and after this, and I'll love you. And like, I'm like, oh my God, what? No, it didn't work for me. Number 10 is highlighter. Pick a book that brightened your day. That's cute. I'm going to use this little What's Up sample guy that I have. Oh, this is Benefit, by the way, because I'm obsessed with this thing. And a book that brightened my day would definitely be Snow and Rose by Emily Winfield Martin. I won't shut up about this book because I just finished it last month, and it was just the most charming, adorable, whimsical middle grade fairy tale with illustrations and magic and loveliness. Like, as I was reading it, I was like, I love this book, and it makes me so happy that I'm reading it because I love it. So, easy answer. Number 11 is lipstick. Your favorite book kiss. I gotta find lipstick. Okay, the one that I wanted to use is not in here. It must be in a purse somewhere. But I'm gonna use this Lime Crime lipstick. It's got a unicorn on it in Varsity. My favorite book kiss is probably, this is hard. Both this lipstick and this answer is hard. Oh my gosh, who's my favorite book kiss? There has to be a good one. You know what? I'm going to give a cheesy answer. After I finish my lipstick, it's going to be a cheesy answer. What am I talking about? My favorite book kiss. Oh my God. I completely forgot because I was so upset about having to wear lipstick. My favorite book kiss, I'm going to be cheesy and say Katniss and Peeta from the Hunger Games because I'll always love Katniss and Peeta. They are so sweet. I mean, Peeta is so sweet, and Katniss just is part of the package. But I love how much Peeta loves Katniss, and I remember being in college. Was I in college? I think I was in college. Reading the Hunger Games series for the first time and sobbing. You know what? Yes, I was a college freshman. I remember this. And just sobbing in my car to my friend and being like, Peeta is a 16-year-old boy and no one has ever loved as sweetly and as purely as he loves Katniss, and it's not fair and it's not okay. I was so upset. because he's the cutest. And so anytime Peanut and Katniss get to kiss, I'm happy for him. God bless his heart. Oh, and lastly, for some reason, I hate this order, is contour. Pick a book that could do with some slimming down. I have this Stila Stay All Day contouring bronzer in the shade Light. Because if I go for an actual bronzer, I will look like a melting chocolate-covered ice cream bar. I would say, ooh, what is a book that needs some slimming down? I know there has to be one in my noggin somewhere because oh my God, I read so many books where I'm like, why did this take so long? You know what? I'm going to go back to The Nest and say The Nest. That book was not even that long. It was like 300 odd pages. But everything that happened in the book was not what was supposed to happen in the book. Like, it was supposed to be about a man who was trying to get this inheritance money back for his siblings after he ruined it by being an idiot. And that never happened. Not even at the end of the book. So what actually happened in the book was his siblings try to solve their problems while their brother continues to be the worst. And I could have used like 100 pages less of Leo being the worst. So that's it. So this is the makeup. Kind of cute, actually. It's growing on me. And that was the makeup book tag. And I hope you enjoyed this because it was fun to do and it was really convenient to get ready and film a video at the same time. I didn't plan on tagging anybody because I know this tag is kind of old and I don't know who's done it and who hasn't. So I'm just going to do like a blanket, if you want to do this tag, then I tag you. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment and let's talk about your answer to one of these questions because that is so fun. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and you'll see more of me soon. Bye.